Don Charles were here today. We thought that Malik Scott was going to be here. Do you read anything into that he hasn't turned up for this press conference?
Well, there's a lot of things you can read into it, but we give him benefit of the doubt, So tomorrow he's got tomorrow. Look, the main concern, we don't care if he doesn't come to any of these meetings, provided he turns up on Saturday. That's what we're concerned about.
Originally, back a few months ago, we thought Derek was going to be facing Deontay Wilder. Then the opponent got changed to Malik Scott. A lot of people thought that Wilder was a difficult opponent and a dangerous opponent, and maybe think Malik Scott's not as dangerous, but he is a very credible opponent and a very good boxer. Do you think that this actually could be a more tricky fight than the Wilder fight could have been?
Most definitely. Styles, we're the ones who called out Deontay Wilder. We wanted to fight after he beat Audley Harrison. We didn't believe in the hype. We respect him, but we don't believe in the hype. And that would have been an easier fight than Malik Scott, definitely, because Malik Scott, as you know, he's unbeaten. He's a very skillful, probably the most skillful heavyweight currently in the heavyweight division worldwide. The way he puts punches together, he flows like a middleweight.
Do you think Derek's experience with some of the top guys, obviously been with Klitschko, Haye, Helenius, those big, strong and fast guys, he's fought a sort of myriad of different styles. Do you think that will be the defining factor against someone like Scott?
Yeah, I'm afraid so, because although Derek, everyone keeps telling us and reminding us, yes, we have lost, on paper 4 fights. In fact, it's 3 because Helenius never beat Chisora, but nevertheless, it's still 3 losses. Yeah, But those losses and the caliber of the opponents that he lost against has set us in good stead, Derek, to be able to fight people such as Malik Scott, because we've been where Malik Scott has not been. Yeah, in all his 36 opponents, I don't believe he has, with the exception of his last opponent, Glaskov. It's about levels here. I don't believe Malik Scott has fought at the levels Chisora has fought at.
Malik Scott is a well-known boxer. He's been boxing since 2000, and he had about 4 years out in 2008. So he's been around the game for a long time. He was a sort of accomplished amateur as well. But he hasn't had that defining fight. He's fought someone like Charles Shufford, but there's Derek Chisora in the background there. He's fought a guy like him, but he hasn't fought at the top tier. But do you think, in a way, fighting someone like Chisora is his chance, his sort of coming out party? If he gets a win over Chisora, that would make his name even bigger in the UK and the States.
Most definitely, we're aware of that, because this guy, if I was Malik Scott, I'd be saying, wow, this is my opportunity to get into the world bracket, the elite. Chisora is a big name. He's fought the best. So therefore, if I was Malik Scott, I'll be thinking, well, this is my opportunity to demonstrate what I can do on a real opponent.
Last week we had Tyson Fury and David Haye, both former opponents of Derek, announce their fight. It's on pay-per-view. It's going to have a lot of hoopla around it. But you've been in the opposite corner to both those guys. Derek probably wasn't in the best shape for Tyson Fury, but he put up a good fight against David Haye. How do you see that fight going, and what do you think about the fight itself?
I think it's a brilliant fight for boxing fans. I'm looking forward to it. Who do I think will win that fight? Again, Haye is very explosive, and Tyson Fury is open to the other right hand, which is David Haye's favourite shot. Having said that, if Haye doesn't get rid of Tyson inside 5, stroke 6, then it's Tyson, I'm afraid.
In the Chisora Haye fight, it's sort of not a lot of people giving Derek enough maybe credit for how well he was doing in that fight up until the time of the stoppage, because he seemed to be getting through to Haye, and you were talking about round 6 there. It seemed that the plan was to take Haye into deeper waters, and unfortunately didn't quite make it there. But do you think there is still, although he looks in great shape all the time, do you think there is still stamina questions around his stamina there?
No, not really. I'm not the one to fall back. There's a stamina problem. No, that stamina problem is if your opponent is pressing you, making you work more than you want to work. Yeah. With our fight, Derek went prematurely. He went too early. The plan was not to start having a fight that earlier on, while David is still relatively fresh. And he was still getting to David, but we didn't go there to give him a good fight and lose. No, I'm still very disappointed as I stand here. Derek is very deeply disappointed that we weren't victorious in that fight. We really, really badly didn't want to lose that fight.
Beating Malik Scott, where does that lead Derek to? What's next after this if he wins this fight?
Well, Frank is the promoter, so all we got to do, beat Malik Scott on Saturday, then whoever Frank brings, then we'll deal with it. But right now, it's about Malik Scott on Saturday, on the 20th. Make sure you tune in on Box Nation.
And last question, Frank alluded it to there, but you can see just looking at Derek, he looks very trim, he looks like he looks healthy, he looks good. How important has it been to get the diet right? Because we've seen video footage, we know how hard you guys train, we've seen the sweat pouring off both of you guys, but the soulmate food thing, getting the food shipped in, making sure he's on a strict diet, how important will that be to not just this fight, but the longevity of his career?
I mean, look, Derek's had 20 fights. Let's say he's now realised what it takes to be a top professional fighter. It's not just about the training. He trains harder than anyone I know. But again, he's now personally addressing the dietitian. It's a part of the training. He didn't think it was, but it is. We've always said that to him. Yeah, I can train him, but I can't put food in his mouth. So he's now finally addressed it, and it's music to my ears, because you're going to start seeing more explosive Derek Chisora. The style he does, especially the style Derek Chisora does, he needs to weigh less to be able to be more effective.
That's brilliant, Don. Best of luck for Saturday night.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you.